the mission to keep as many men on as many guns for as long as possible. We called him Doc. Welcome to Combat Vet Vision. And now your host, Aaron Chief Seaburge.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, this is another episode of Combat Vet Vision. This is where I get to give my opinion, a lot of different things, my story, life experiences, things like this. And after going to combat and coming back, dealing with all the things that are going on, this is another episode of Politics. I'm out. And P.I.O. We're going to talk about some things. Mike Amato gave me this idea. He's on deck with me today. Again, we're going to talk about these cool things. This is kind of behind the scenes, behind the door kind of way that we as veterans kind of bring up some subject matter and just mill it out and just throw it out there. And unfortunately, people have lost their lives. Things are going downhill. A lot of people think that they get to be assholes. You get to choose to be a good human being, a reasonable human being. I'm going to get into some of that. But Mike, hey, welcome. Thanks for being back on the show.
What's up? Going down, man.
Always picking some good subject matter. It's just it's sad and amazing at the same time that we already went and faced life and death situations, put ourselves at the pinnacle of our time on the planet. We got to come back into society, and we kind of just want to take advantage of our freedoms. We want to enjoy them. We want to live them. We want to talk about them, and we want to have a pleasant day in each one of our days, right? But with that comes a lot of heavy thoughts, heavy processes. We carry some crazy burdens with us that sometimes get in the way. We get in the way of ourselves with these heavy burdens, but at the same time, we really take a good glance at society and how it's managing itself. Especially, it's not like we want to judge it, but at the same time, there is some common sense kind of things that are going on in our heads that we can reach into and say, hey, we as humanity can be doing it better. We can definitely be trying, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything that's recently happened. What I think he's hitting on is, the school shooting that happened down there in Texas. We're too familiar with shootings. Also, as well, people keep talking about how things are nowadays compared to how they used to be. Things were fucked then. Things are fucked now. Things will always be fucked. Sad part about it is our children are more and more becoming the target, where before, I guess children were able to be shielded from such carnage to a point. It was unheard of about going into a school and shooting a bunch of kids. Now it's the thing, it's fucking sick. It's twisted. There's nothing right about it. There's no way of justifying these actions. This is pure evil. This is people that are desperate, sick, sad, pathetic little fucking bitches of individuals that mental health has not located, that should have. We should have red flagged these people, and our children and are being sacrificed to this evil, and for no justification. So it's sick, it's wrong, and we needed to talk about it. As soon as it happened, I said, "Shit, we need to talk about this," because too many supposed quick answers are being sput out there. And as a veteran, I can sit there and I can tell every single person that you probably don't need a veteran at every school. Yeah, because I see these little posts and these little memes and shit talking about putting a bunch of crazy vets. Yeah, I mean, veterans, man, we're down to kill people all day long. You need me to kill somebody? Hey, man, line them up. I'll do it all day. I ain't got no problem. I just told my therapist today, I have no problem killing the evil. But this is children. We need to think common sense wise. We need to think that, okay, this evil exists. We need to be locking down our schools. I'm a delivery guy, and when I'm going and doing deliveries and I go to these schools, at least out here in Tennessee, they are all locked down. You cannot just walk in a door. You have to press a buzzer button, and that person on the other side has a video of you. They get to see who you are. And almost every school has an officer in it. And cops are being pushed to their limits on trying to be there for these kids and reacting. And for the shithead cops down there in Texas that didn't react, I don't care. Your tactic should be first officer in, first officer, no matter his rank, in charge of the situation. Okay, until everybody gets there, and then you can rearrange it. You run in there, bam, 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 figure it out, take down the target, save as many as you can. Preemptive things, common sense gun laws, common sense red flagging. I don't know how many veterans get flagged a year. We're the number one target for red flags. We say something to a fucking therapist, all of a sudden our guns are taken out of our house, or we're put in front of a judge. What about mental health? Everybody's talking about, stop the guns. I go upstairs, grab my AR. It's not killing a single person. But when you put an idiot holding an AR, that's the person. So, Biden, kiss my ass. Kamala Harris, kiss my ass. You all are idiots. You don't give a shit about Americans. You say you do. You say you care about us, but you're not caring about us in any way. You're not talking about mental health. That's the problem in America. You served us crack, right? We found these are facts. Crack was taught in inner cities in America by the CIA. We've had a meth problem for how long? CIA and other organizations, including the FBI, have been involved with dealings with the cartel. Okay, we've sold them under Obama, sold the cartel rifles. How the fuck does that make sense? Now we're passing around evil and doing justice with evil, serving with them, business with these idiots. Now, occasionally an evil person that's told to toe the line will not toe the fucking line because they don't give a shit about the line. They don't care about boundaries. You stay on this side, I stay on that side. That shit doesn't matter to them. Anybody who's fought evil will tell you that evil doesn't care about you. Any preacher, any church you walk into will tell you that the devil is always there to catch you slipping. All right? So if we know it's there and we're not doing anything to combat it, we're not going to fix the problem. And these politicians right now, you guys are just another reminder of how much dog shit you really are. Because you want to take my rifle upstairs to defend my son that's upstairs? You want to sit there and tell a law-abiding veteran or a law-abiding citizen that they can't bear arms when we're supposed to trust the police, but the police don't run in and save my kid? Where the fuck is the fairness in that? Where the fuck is the justice in that? When you get rid of the justice system, you're only left with anarchy. When you get rid of that, you're only left with that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of anarchy going on because a lot of, like you said, a lot of these laws have decriminalized the drug industry.
It's sick.
And I was just when you talk about drugs being a huge part, the amount of drugs that we have, even legal drugs, it's just one of those things. And the warning labels that have to be on rifles, that have to be on every piece of gear, like, do not use this. You almost have to put a label on this chair that says, do not use this as a ladder. Do not stand on it, because you could be sued. You could be sued if you fall off of this. Yeah. But the drug industry got kind of flagged on the news just recently that said, hey, the drug industry, they don't have to put these labels on these drugs.
No,
everybody else has to.
Remember Purdue? Remember Purdue and all the drama with them? Percocet and all that shit, all those fucking pills they were shoving down our fucking throats created all these drug addicts. Now you got all these drug addicts that used to be decent people that no longer can think decently. People, everybody listening to this, I don't care what your faith is. Your brain is a chemical thing that if it is not balanced, if you're not seeking balance, if you're not seeking and living a decent, healthy lifestyle, you're going to be a very unbalanced, unhinged individual. From a guy with fucking 100% permanent total of PTSD, let me tell you, the dark side is fucking dark. You know, you can go back and listen to a story of me and Aaron talking about me and my past. I remember waking up and literally saying to myself, I'm a fucking American terrorist. I am about ready to be on the news for being fucking nuts. You know, I seeked help. You know, I reached out, but the next person is going to seek more evil actions. The next person is going to want to do more bad things. This motherfucker shot his grandmother. You think he gives a fuck about your little fucking kid? You know, no, obviously, because he shot him. You know, and to the families, nothing but my condolences. Nothing, no words, no actions other than true actions in teaching my son and teaching every other kid that comes around me to look out for evil and to pay attention to it, because now it's walking our streets in a different way. You know, evil adapts and it changes with the times. It's, you know,
there's a lot of values that have fallen off the rails in our society, you know, over time. It's
but I mean, has it really though? I mean, the 6 son of bitches were there back in the day. They were still there. We had Son of Sam. We had the Zodiac Killer. We had, you know, all this shit is from the generation of fucking people running their mouth saying change. But
those were the one-offs. Those are the one-offs. Now we're dealing with.
But it's not a one-off. This is not a one-off. This is a systemic problem across all. Aaron, I'll argue this. You fucking go anywhere in the world. The same evil piece of shit that shot those kids is everywhere. You know, in fucking Seattle, that they said flat out there's more mentally ill, psychotic serial killers coming out of Seattle than anywhere in the fucking United States. Hey, by the way, they cut their fucking police program in half. So, hey, let's just fucking keep fucking up. Let's keep making the world shit so that all of our children are just a bunch of fucking meat to the meat wagon. You know, like this type of shit. We need to pay attention to the main heart of the problem here. The problem is mental health. You know, times have changed. Evil has changed. This is true. But the evil is still the same. Evil is evil. We don't need to rebadge it. You know, it's not one day American Eagle, the next day American, you know, Abercrombie and fucking Finch. You know, it's still the same bullshit fucking clothes that are overpriced. You know what I mean? You're paying for the label. You know, and these politicians, all they do when they hear something is go, how can we spin this to our advantage? They're not ever thinking about you. If they did, then they would say, hey, gas prices are fucking ridiculous right now. Let's go ahead and drill where we can. Let's go ahead and shut our mouth and get on this debt. Let's go ahead
let me just touch that real quick, Mike, because, you know, I always bring up the fact that this one news piece was talking about when the oil rig that there's tons of oil rigs out there, but the one that was off the coast that, you know, something blew up and oil was just spewing out more oil.
BP. You talking about the BP?
BP, man. More oil per day than what the U.S. uses all year long. So if the oil is such a problem, how can you have an oil rig that can produce one rig producing more oil than we use per day than we use all year as a country? This is the kind of thing that says, what's going on? What's the agenda? The push for electric vehicles is huge. I mean, I get it. There's something always going on behind the scenes that this hand is doing something, but this hand's not watching, or this hand's watching and this hand's doing, you know. But
they want us. Remember this. I'm a very proud American, but anybody who listens to this, remember flat out, I'll say it and I'll say it again. We have no problem being the bad guy. We're America. We're on top. To be on top is to be the bad guy. You know, we have a mutual buddy of ours. I ain't gonna say his name because what I'm about to say isn't something he'd want his name to be attached to, but he said it. He said, you know, everybody likes to sometimes talk to me like I'm the one who killed fucking Jesus. So fuck it, I'm the one who killed Jesus. So, you know, sometimes people are so used to being attacked that they just accept the evil in them. And then they just push it on people like a motherfucking cancer. And greed is pushing and driving so many things. I mean, everybody, yeah, okay, cool, man. Go buy a fucking Tesla. Gas is expensive. Let's go buy a Tesla. But that's not fixing the systemic problem in America. The systemic problem in America is our culture is grown off of narcissistic views. We think individually about ourselves, but then say everybody needs to be like us. There was a culture like that existed and ruled the known world, just like we do. Because yeah, we rule the world. I fucking dare you to fuck with us. Okay, so that was the Romans. They were narcissistic in view. They cared about themselves and their own gluttony. They would eat to the point of vomiting and then eat again. This was common to eat, to just fucking feast for no purpose while a bunch of slaves are around them. Now, we don't condone slavery. We don't condone racism. All these things we're moving away from, which is positive. But what we had as an American, as a country, we had mental health as a real thing, a real fucking thing that we cared about, that the taxpayer paid for, that we no longer give a shit about. So, okay, Obama comes in and says healthcare for all, but mental health is really kind of still swept under the rug. Yet we've got all these people, Olympic gold medalists. I mean, from NASCAR to whatever fucking sport you talk about is now talking about mental health. We don't have politicians talking about it because for them, it's about filling their pockets for making you turn in your weapons. Like this system that is set up, 25% of Americans go behind bars at some point in their life. Okay. And some states, like the state of Louisiana, the entire state is over 25%. And if you're black, the system's set up to fucking fail you, right? If you're Latin, it's set up to fail you. Now, you come from a house that has a mental health issue and is not getting help, and then you add that you're black, you add that you're Mexican, you add all this shit and all this racist bullshit about the system, you're going to rage out and you're going to reach for things. And then these fucking assholes like this fucking piece of shit, Salvador Ramos, fuck that motherfucker. Okay? That's fucking evil. If you looked at his brain and we were to check his brain waves, we would find out the thing that caused the chemical spill of bullshit that made him say, I'm going to just murder everybody. The fuck was his end game? The end game is carnage. That's it. Doesn't matter if he got shot. What was that son of a bitch up in New York? Fucking, I watched the video of it. I had to stop. That motherfucker jumps out. They said he was there to kill black people. First fucking person he killed was a white lady. What the fuck? He walks into a grocery store. We all go to a grocery store. We get our fucking groceries. What are we doing? We're paying attention to our fucking food. My man titties. I want to keep them. So I fucking sit there and I get my food. Now, you look up, all of a sudden, some son of a bitch with the AR-15 is shooting people up. Let me tell you something. Let's take away the ARs. Matter of fact, let's take away the pistols. Let's take away all weapons. The motherfucker is going to do what they do in England, stab a shit ton of people. In London, 10,000 plus people a year these are fucking facts. So you people can fact check me. 10,000 plus a year are stabbed. The fuck does that make sense? What are we doing for mental health? We need to focus on that. We need to lock up the crazies. We need to give them the Skittles. We need to make them motherfuckers be put down.
Yeah, because that's personal responsibility, right?
Yeah, but we as America, it's narcissistic. We literally just listen to Amber her fucking turd over there being the cunt that she is, and people just sat there laughing at it, ignoring everything else. America needs to change its view on society. We need to work together more. You guys are going to hear this repetitive from me about working together, loving your neighbor, caring for each other. I don't give a shit what your faith is. If your faith ain't teaching you that,
and for me, you're going to hear personal responsibility, escalation of force, something that's not talked about because it's escalation of force, and these things that can't be talked about because it's too scary, it's too violent. Me and Mike may sound a little violent, but it's because we are underneath it all. If you care enough, with tears in my eyes, I will beg you and plead with you to not make me have to kill anybody. you the bad guy, please don't make me have to be personally responsible for your dumb ass. This is just one of those things. So yeah, Mike's going to say a couple things. He's going to say it over and over again. Mental health is so true. What is the solution? The solution is taking that personal responsibility and putting these people where they need to be and leaving
But
them there.
yeah, and on top of that, we as just a nation.
Don't talk to me about the release of 1,000 wolves to the Midwest. Guess what you don't have anymore? You don't have any more wildlife if you do that.
Exactly. I mean, you sit there and tell us we need to snitch and tell everybody about all the bad shit. Okay, let's not live in freedom. Let's live under tyranny where we all snitch on each other like fucking Nazis did. And then all of a sudden the cop is no longer the cop. He's not a police force. He's a fucking janitor. He just shows up and grabs people for no reason. And then that narcissistic view spreads to you. Well, I don't like my fucking neighbor because he doesn't mow his lawn on time. He's a fucking bad guy. We don't need to replace our freedom with tyranny to fix it. And that is what politicians currently today are wanting to do. Okay. Bullshit to sit there and say that America has to give up their gun rights to fix the fucking problem. You're ignoring the problem. The problem is mental health. The problem is caring for your neighbor. The problem is exactly what Aaron just said. It is not just one solution. It is many solutions that need to be constantly pushed. Just like how a police officer now should be trained on how to deal with more than just arresting motherfuckers and handing out tickets. He needs to know how to mentally handle a domestic abuse situation where he's not just arresting black people because they're black and they're fucking in the ghetto systemically being pushed against. He needs to be arresting the people that are actually the problem. Because I'll tell you right now, most serial killers are fucking white, right? And so we're sitting here with this problem and we're not paying attention and we're not focusing on all the aspects at once. We are pointing the blame and we are creating what's called an echo chamber mob mentality. You guys are going to sit there and get mad and get frustrated and maybe not agree. Maybe say, well, guns are this and I'm a victim of gun violence. So am I. I'm a victim of gun violence. Fairfield, California, 12 years old, I was shot at because I was standing outside. Okay? So don't sit there and tell me, but that was gang violence. Okay? They saw me wearing a shirt and they said, I'm going to shoot at that kid. I'm fucking 12. We need to work together. We need to be more caring of one another. We need to start getting these animals separate.
Caring.
And you know what? We need to carry a little more pistols on us. We need to take a little more of these fucking signs down, right? Because this is what they won't say. There was another shooting in Texas, and guess what happened? Somebody with a gun did the right thing and put them down.
Yeah.
Okay, someone tried to break into my house a few months back, about 7 months ago. I sat there with my pistol. I knew I couldn't just kill them because they're playing with my lock. I waited. They never came in. They couldn't figure it out because they were idiots. But you know what? If they did, they'd have been dead. When I told the police out here in the beautiful state of Tennessee, police don't play. They flat out tell you, someone comes in your house, kill the motherfucker. Because they're sick of it. Because police are overwhelmed. We as a society need to pick up the slack. We cannot point at a uniform to fix it. We cannot point at a politician to fix it. You have to fix it. Whoever the fuck is listening to this, you need to fucking pay attention. You need to start the process. We need to create change. There's no overnight change here. We're already in too deep, right? There's another crazy motherfucker right now that'll get access to a gun. Go ahead. I was in California. I could get a fucking fully automatic Tech 9 with a U.S. Army serial number on it. How the fuck am I getting that in the streets from a crip? Are we answering that problem? No, we're not answering that problem. We're not talking about the black market. We're not talking about cartel control over our politicians because of their backwards companies. No, we only in election season care about veterans. We only in election season care about you. You need to care about you. We need to start paying attention to what the problem is in society. There is no more letting another person die. It is on all of our hands. If you're at a gas station right now and you're working a dead-end job and you're going home to your little shitty fucking apartment, bless your heart, you're busting your ass, or you're doing your job and you're helping America. I don't care. You deserve the same love a nurse does during COVID because you're fucking making sure shit works. Okay?
Yeah,
if you're the person handing me my McChicken, you're an American. You're working and you're minding your fucking business. We need to start getting back to that. We need to start caring about the average person. You know, one thing I fell in love with in the South is you could drive by and not know that asshole, but that asshole wave at you, wave right back, you know, saying sir and ma'am, caring about your neighbor enough to bring the old lady's trash can down. You know, start with this with your children, reminding them of the evil, not what the fuck, shielding them from it. Are you serious? They're going to grow up.
Yeah. And I
They're going
guarantee,
to go out there and see it.
Mike, you just hit someone. I guarantee if you go to any park, you want to spend some time in any park, you know, take a little bit of time to come up with about 10 pieces of trash. And it won't take but one small area to make that happen. Oh, hold on. I got to plug this in.
But yeah, you know, sitting there and doing all this, I mean, all these things add up. We need to, if the government isn't going to do the right thing, we have to do the right thing. The government is who we elect. Those assholes in office are only there because we elected. We elected Trump. Nobody wanted Trump. They got Biden, right? Now everybody's bitching about Biden. You're going to bitch about the next asshole. It don't matter. You're always never going to agree always with your leadership. But your leadership needs to be reminded of who they're leading. Okay? You need to be able to focus and to keep that focus. You need to know and have the legal right to defend yourself because evil does exist and a cop's response time is not fast enough. If Marvel Studios and those superheroes were fucking real, we wouldn't have a problem. Flash would be there in a fucking flash. There you go. Problem fixed. No kid fucking hurt. We're moved on to the next. But that shit don't exist. Santa Claus ain't fucking real. And people with guns, idiots with guns, will kill your children. We need to admit this. We need to admit teaching the right thing. That doesn't mean it always fixes the problem, but we can curb the problem. We can stop this slope going up and make it go down. We can start focusing, and in time, we'll get it right. But until then, we'll never get it right.
Yeah.
Until then, we're just going to take more shit away from good people.
Let's just talk about that for a second, Mike. The problems in America. What exactly is being done about them? What exactly have our politicians done to solve the problems that seem to always be the same? You know, it's like one of those things like, well, if we fix it, then we won't have something to fix. You know,
yeah.
It's very strange to be like, at some point, society will change. Obviously, things are changing. The world's changing. You know, there's just so many crazy changes coming down. You know, you talked to me earlier about the food that's not going to be on the shelves in a year. You know, the things that we got to look forward to. It's looking kind of grim, and it's because people just have lost that sense of care, I think. And
it's classic narcissism. You know,
I mean, you know what? Mike, let me just hit on this real quick. Is that, you know, over in Ukraine, you got people that are not working on bureaucracy, meaning if the electricity goes out because a missile hit, they're not waiting for a bunch of people to sign a bunch of papers to get it hooked up. There's just some electricians that go out there and fix it. In America, we don't do that anymore. There's all this safety. Oh, you're under 16? I don't care if you can fly a drone. You just don't fit the age market. You know, there's all this bureaucracy that holds people back. You can't even mow a lawn anymore as a kid. You can't do anything. Everything's robotic, but we're in a free nation. How free are we?
Yeah,
because
a license for a lemonade stand.
Yeah, license for a lemonade stand. You know,
yeah.
Well, what does that cost? Well, lemonade goes for 25 cents a cup, right? Or now it's $1 a cup.
Right.
But by the end of the day, you're not going to pay the $150 lemonade stand cost having a lemonade stand. So you don't see lemonade stands anymore because it just isn't cost effective. So what do you got to do?
You know, and for everybody that is the complete opposite of me and Aaron, that are devoutly non-violent, that don't have a violent bone in their body, that get in a car accident and it wasn't their fault, but somebody hit them blatantly like an asshole and they don't even curse. You know, to the devout Christian that is so kind and so gentle, I say to you, you're awesome and you're amazing. We need to learn from that. But we need to also be reminded that evil wants to eat you. Okay? There's sheep, and then there's sheep dogs, and then there's wolves. Who do you want to be? Who are you? You'll find out in time who you are. But who are you surrounding yourself with? Who do you accept? What do you accept in your life? Some of us have to accept realities that suck. Where I'm from, we had to accept roaches crawling on us. We had to accept starving. That's why I'm fucking fat and I maintain a gut. I could lose my weight. I don't give a shit. It's called a hustler's belly, you know? So we gotta make sure that we're caring. And you know, that same thing, being a monster in business, you got to be a monster. You also got to be gentle. You also got to be kind. These children, man, my son is here and he's just upstairs. I love him with all my heart, but I don't lie to him. I tell him what's going on. He said, is Jesus coming back? He said he believes that he is. I said, you know what? I'm not going to sit there and say no to that, son. But if he was coming back in your lifetime, he'd have fucking came back when I was in Afghanistan. And 14 little Afghan children, okay, were blown and shred to shit. Okay. That would have been maybe you would think the fucking time. But, or this school shooting. Because evil is sick. Evil is twisted. Evil doesn't care. But I've never met evil I couldn't kill. So you're right. Maybe some of you who say, hey, put veterans in schools. Hey, go run and do this and go do that. This will fix it. Hey, you know, common sense, gun laws. I'm all for it. You want me to wait 10 fucking days? That is not going to stop me from shooting somebody, though. If I want to fucking shoot you, I'm going to do it. If I want to kill myself, I'm going to do it. You're not going to stop me. Okay? We locked up Tukey Williams. He wrote kids' books and helped change society and gang culture a little bit. But we kept him locked up, and he still looked out windows from his cell because he cut little fucking pictures of windows, and he'd look through them while looking at the light and imagine what it would look like. Because we can't fully cage the mind, no matter what we do. But what we can do is we can work on the mind. Every time you're around a child, you're imprinting that child, just like how a mom dog and her pup is. They're watching and they're learning. If you're sitting there in your house and you're smoking fucking meth, smoking fucking crack, doing fucking heroin, God bless you, man. I'm sorry that you're a drug addict, and I'm sorry you're struggling, and I'm sorry whatever pain you have. But you need to look at that child, and you need to find within yourself the strength. Your ancestors are real. Nature is real. It's all connected. The further we go into this technology world, we are more disconnected from who we are. We are animals. Well, to sit there and say we're not is bullshit. Because what happened to those children is what happens in wildlife. You know, we need to seriously care, right? That fucking lion doesn't give a shit. He's hungry. And when evil gets hungry, they eat. We need to know how to fight it. And there is keys. There is a way to be successful. I truly believe this. But you know what? We need to divert subjects a little bit. We need to lighten it down. That was a whole fucking tense. My therapist asked me earlier today, from 1 to 100, how's your stress level? I told her 45. By the end of the meeting, it was about 75. You know how them bitches fucking get y'all fucking angst talking about bullshit like PTSD, right? So, but let's get a little lighter. Let's talk about fucking Amber Turd, man. Let's fucking talk about her. You know, by the way, God bless those children. May they rest. And may their family hopefully one day find solace, you know, and hopefully maybe one day we'll find an ending to this. But I see a long tunnel with no light yet, but we'll find it. But, you know, Amber fucking Turd and Johnny Depp, I've been watching it off and on. I can't sit there for too long, Aaron. Holy shit. Talk about a narcissistic bitch. Oh, it's good to see a bitch on TV. Being called out. Forgive me. Sorry for my sexism. Go ahead. You say something.
Well, at first, man, when I started watching this, and I only watched a little bit at a time. I didn't know if it was like a reality TV show that just went bad or what. Because I was like, "Hey, is this for real? Is this like for real?" And
Yeah,
to find out it was, and just to see that obviously you've gone through some stuff, and to see justice come your way in court,
yeah.
because it used to be so one-sided, that really, you know, everybody got the bad name, everybody got the bad gig. Now everybody's responsible for their actions, and I'm not saying anybody's like,
Well, you say everybody, you
yeah,
mean men. It used to be
I
a
mean,
woman beats a man, and then the cops are called. The man goes to jail with a black eye.
exactly. This is the kind of
That
stuff,
used to
right?
be
And
the way it was.
that used to be the way it
Sorry,
was, and
women.
now
You wanted equality. You're going to get it. I expect you to have it. I hope you
eh,
have it. You
and that's
deserve
where
it.
we're exact, and that's good. And then now it's going to reflect, and so it's kind of cool to see that reflect in society, because we too often, like you said, what's the agenda? Why isn't the common sense piece not there? And to see this kind of roll through, and all these common sense things kind of pop up, super awesome.
And it's when you have a man like Johnny Depp, who we all know at one point in time ran the Viper Room in Hollywood, right? The Viper Room was fucking famous. I mean, famous for fucking drugs and you know celebrities being able to let loose, right? Because Johnny Depp owned. He woke up one day and said, "I'm gonna buy this shitty, not known bar that he liked because it was that not known place," and he turned it into the hub of amazing, right? And the Pussycat Dolls, that's a little sing dance group. Well, they started off doing burlesque in his thing, So I mean, you look at a guy like Johnny Depp, though. I mean, you see it in his eyes whether he's acting or not. The guy cares. He gives a shit. He gives a shit about anybody who loves him, and you can tell he's deeply depressed. Anybody that is a great actor, that is so loving and caring when you see him, because we've met actors, right? We've met fucking bigwigs. I can name some of the
Yeah,
stars we've met.
yeah,
They're
I've hung with a few. I'm not an
Hollywood guy.
actor. I'm not an
Yeah,
actor, but I've played one in real life a couple times, and
right. I
I've been
mean,
on a show.
being warrior built, we get lucky, and we have famous people that'll want to help raise money for the organization. Shout out to Omaze. Everybody get on there, man. You might win that Bronco. Check it out. It's a badass Bronco. Wish I had
Yep.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
What's up, Nick? Let me get a motorcycle, doc. But because I asked for it, I'll never get it. Right. So, but the beauty about all that is we got to meet a lot of these famous people. Now we put these people on fucking pedestals, right? Like Johnny Depp. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean. Talk about a fucking beautiful role. A role that gets you stuck in it. He walks out there drunk and you want a bottle of rum. You know what I mean?
Why wouldn't you want to be that character in real life? And
You know what I'm saying?
He brings it part of his real life, right? You blend it in, and that's it's kind of like me. I'm not a Navy chief anymore, but I still characterize a lot of the things I do to take care of veterans, to help manage this guy's life and give them some direction. I still wear the anchor. I'm still doing the job, the same thing that I did when I was in, but I'm not a active Navy chief anymore, retired. So I'm not Jack Sparrow, but I'm playing him in real life sometimes. Sometimes.
Well, Jack Sparrow was the captain, chief. So you gotta
Well,
bring yourself back down.
there you go. I can't be that guy, right? I can just be the cop, the chief of the boat. Exactly.
Right. I mean, and him, I can speak from my experiences. When I started watching the trial, I was just like, Johnny Depp, you fucked. You know what I mean? Like, how many people thought, man, dude, he's screwed. And then
looks pretty.
Then you hear about the fucking therapist chiming in. I've seen so many therapists chime in on Amber Turd. That's right, Amber Turd. And she sits there in her narcissistic life, the way she lives and surrounded herself. And instead of working on our issues, you know, I mean, you know what, Amber, let me just be one of the few people to sit there and say, honey, you need help. You need fucking help because you took a shit on a fucking bed and left it. Like, what the fuck? You know, like if I did that, I'd be in a straitjacket, force-fed fucking Skittles. Fucking my weapons would be fucking handed over to the police department. Then the police guys would buy it, you know?
Just give it some time, man. Society will start accepting this. This is going to become a thing.
Oh yeah, taking turds on fucking beds. You know what? Matter of fact, we should do that.
Mike,
we should start today. You know, make sure you guys take pictures of turds on your bed. Okay, fucking send it to Combat Vet Vision. All right, so Aaron can review them. I want Aaron reviewing turds on beds.
I believe in my leadership, but I did not want to mention this and have it become a thing. You know, it's like
yeah.
I do not want to be a leader of this. Hey, Mike, we got about 2 minutes with you, man. Just go ahead and back brief anything you want. How, you know, people can get a hold of us, how and where. Obviously on here, through me. You can get a hold of Mike in all kinds of ways. It's in the show notes. There's some other, you know.
I mean, things. You know, just on that, you guys, man, everything we talked about really tied into one thing. It's mental health, from the trial to the fucking children to fucking shootings. You guys, we all need to focus on that. We need to look within ourselves, look how we're living. You know, a lot of shortages, a lot of things are about to happen in the next 2 years. Next 2 years, you guys thought 2020 sucked. 2024,
2019, 2020, you know, COVID time.
COVID ain't shit. You know, this is what's coming next is the bigger thing. We need to be resourceful. We need to be mindful. We need to care. You know, politics, I'm out. And you know, we're out here telling you the truth. There's no fucking filter. Some days you'll agree with me. Some days you'll disagree with me. Some days you'll think I'm drunk.
Oh shoot, what is wrong with
you
that?
Know, I might be a little fucking stoned when I'm up here, but I'm not today. But you know, we as a people, we need to just work better together. I didn't grow this beard because I was a fucking hipster. I grew this fucking beard because I'm now a boss out here, and I'm asking y'all to be a boss in a positive direction. Lead your people the right way. You know, we need to work together. There's too much racism still going on. There's too many problems going on, you know, that are causing these issues, and we don't need to have them. It's pointless. It's a waste of fucking time. Work together, love each other, man.
Thanks.
And Mike. On that note, go fuck yourself. I'm out.
Yeah, politics, I'm out, man. This is a great series. It's not something that I really wanted to go into politics, but with Mike on deck with me, you know, this turns out to be a really good thing. My biggest thing for this take is personal responsibility, man. You can't control the world. You can't control all these things that you think you can control. But the one thing you can control is yourself, and take yourself into a more respectable, possible, easier, happier, joyfuler, whatever it is that pushes you in a positive direction. Try, because negative directions take you to that evil place that Mike's talking about. I just there's too much evil, too much disrespect, too much stuff going in this world where we could be a little bit more respectful, a little bit more nicer when we talk to the police, when we talk to our friends, when we talk to our family, and when they see us. Be an example. And those things have kind of gone away. Everyone's like, be an example of whatever the hell you want. And that's a choice. That's a choice. You're free to do it. Hey, until next time, hey, this is Combat Vet Vision. This is Aaron Siebert, retired Navy Chief, signing off. Strength and honor. Out.